With us today, we got Joe, Trigger Joe Britson.
All right, let's go.
Boom! To try to get a matchup with a gunner. Oh, goes the lead. Francis in gunner.
Well, this is just a fist. When I start throwing it around, I can leave one hell of a mess. Let's dance.
Multiple occasions. Wow, it looks like they're going to swing to the very end.
And he wasn't kidding.
Wow.
It's very rare.
What a finish. Another one.
It really poses the question, what do you want to do? Do you want to take a chance and risk getting knocked out? Oh my God!
Oh my God.
Trying to take care of business, trying to get to goal. It's a knockout. Oh my It's a knockout.
And he's closing in, trying to finish it, and it's over!
Because I'm going to take this foot and I'm going to whop you on that side of your face. There's not a goddamn thing you can do about it.
Buck is brought to you by Modelo.
I killed it! Punch me right in the face, man.
And we have a new nickname. Okay, we have William Send It 7 Piercing. All right, other than that, we used to call him Willie Pete. We used to call him the Mad Russian.
Now you're gonna get it, Bobby!
I think you've had enough. No? Now you've had enough. Bitch.
Wow. How good is this?
Finish him! Get him a body bag! Yeah!
Another one.
Everybody gets triggered. It's just if you become a pansy or not. That's in the Book of Earl.
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
You called down the thunder, well now you got it.
Gotta be very careful.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Sports Betting Show with your hosts, Trigger Joe, Send It 7 Pearson, and the Big Earl. UFC, NFL, if it's on, we're betting on it.
Happy Saturday. It is Saturday morning. I got my coffee. I got my buddies with me. All right, we got Bill, Send It 7 Pearson, and Joe Triggered Britson. And we're going to tell you how to make money today. Not with real estate like Zach or his peon that came on the show on Wednesday. But we are going to talk about betting, sports betting. And this sports betting specifically is UFC. And if you've been watching, which I know a lot of you have, you've been making money with these guys. So we're going to go through the picks. We're going to have a great time, and we're going to make some money. So just disclaimer right from the start. Okay. If you don't have the money to gamble, do not gamble. All right. It's called responsibility in your life. Grow up, Peter Pan. If you don't have the money, don't spend it. Okay.
On Chocula.
Okay. Now, if you do got a little bit of scratch that you want to throw on some of these fight picks, pay attention. All right. Stick around for the whole show. If they're going to give you their locks, their parlays, and then remember the parlays, don't put all your money on the parlays. Please don't. All right. Because those are the ones that lose. All right, put your money on the locks, a little bit of scratch on the parlays. So Dan Dexter says, unless you actually live in Vegas. So it's good point.
That's
Good
okay.
point. I mean,
Fair argument.
Yeah. And he picked some fights with us before a couple months ago. So it's a good time. Well, big shout out to our sponsors, and big news coming in May. We picked up another sponsor, and we'll get to that at another time. But we got to give our shout out to 10th Mountain Bourbon. All right. So go to 10thmountainwhiskey.com, put in the code VTT, get yourself a discount. Other than that, it's going to be a great Saturday. All right. And so if you're not following us, we got another great show coming on later. We'll talk about that at the closeout of the show. Okay. Let's get right into it. Remember, don't listen to my picks. Okay. I pick based off of their jawline and their name. So the Big Earl, when I say it, you might have made some money last time if you listen to the Big Earl, but that's rare. So don't do it. All right. UFC 273. There are 2 title fights tonight. Is that accurate?
That is accurate.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to make sure, because I saw one picture where everybody had a belt, and I'm like, how does that work?
Sun's out, birds chirping, and we got 2 title fights.
Yeah. Awesome. And so it's a tough weekend. All right, especially if you have kids, because they're in sports. And then you got the Masters, you got baseball, you got UFC. It's like you need about 14 TVs in your backyard. And then you have to rush back to go watch them. So it's going to be a fun day. All right, lightweight fight. The first one where this guy, either UFC's website screwed up or he doesn't. Where's this? Is it Vink?
No.
Is it
no?
Vince?
He's fancy pants.
Is it?
It's Vince with no E.
It's Vince with no E. So
he's too cool for the E.
Wow, that's amazing. And then it's Pickle. We'll call him Pickle. 14-2. All right, going against Mark Madsen at 11-0. Didn't Mark Madsen used to pitch for the Phillies? Is this the same guy?
I think he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how good a pitcher is going to do.
I think he had a duel with Tom Glavine in the 90s.
Yeah, probably has a tough right hand, so just coming at you at 100 miles an hour. But Mark Madsen, 11-0. Now, I have a feeling the Big Earl, when he was studying this fight, was like, hey, this is where we bring a guy in from a different fight club, and he has to face the old guy named Vince, right, with the mustache. And Vince is that guy who he might eye gouge you. That's just the look he has. So I'm going to go Vince with old George Pardos's heel hook, okay? I'm going to go second round heel hook, possibly a little bit of biting in the fight. Not quite sure. But let's go to the experts. Let's start with, sorry, Joe, the champ, Bill, Send It 7 Pearson. What say you?
Okay, this fight, Joe and I are probably going to agree on. We got some really good prelim fights, and we have some fairly decent early prelim fights. So this is the fight you take a break on, go on your beer run, start the grill up, because it's going to be boring as shit. I'm going to go, if you want to go money line, I take Madsen by laying and praying. He's just the better wrestler than Pichel. Pichel is going to try to keep this standard. Both of them, it's just going to be a boring fight. So if you want to get ballsy in a parlay, take the over 2.5. It's probably going to go to the distance. Madsen by decision. But money line, take Madsen by decision. If you want to get ballsy, take the over. Madsen over 2, or Madsen Pichel over 2.5.
All right, the over Madsen by decision, says Bill. Joe, what say you?
All righty. I'd say start the alarms, but it's for all the wrong reasons. Vince Pichel, I mean, what the fuck is he doing? I mean, what is he trying to mimic Jim Carrey from Sonic the Hedgehog? I mean, look at that mustache. Are you sweeping a floor with that thing? Like, get real.
You don't lose fights if you do that.
He's got the stupidest nickname I've ever heard. It should be Vince Start the Grill Pichel, because the guy's so fucking boring. I mean, he's a tough guy. He's just so vanilla. And to be honest with you, so is Madsen. They're both old guys. Madsen's 37. Pichel's 39. I don't think there's any pop in either one of these guys' hands. So I got exactly what Bill has. And I do have the parlay where this fight goes the distance. And that's the way I see it going. Madsen out-wrestles him. Not a whole lot of damage. And this is one of those fights where if you get too drunk during the prelims, you go, honey, I can't find the fucking pay-per-view. It's not a big deal if you miss the first one. So if you get in late, no big deal. You're not missing much. I got Madsen by decision, but I'm not taking either one of these guys. I'm taking the over because Sal D'Amato will ruin your life in a close wrestling match. God, I can't stand that guy. But anyways, protect yourself. Go with the over because this is going to be a wrestling match. 29-28 Madsen.
See, now
and
you know
split
why.
decision.
Now
I'll
you
say
know
split.
now you know why we call him Trigger Joe, because he just said about 3 of his triggers that he probably goes through every UFC main card, like 273, 272.
I'm just getting warmed up.
Anytime you buy something like that, there's something goes wrong. Like it's just it's stupid because of the streaming and all that good stuff.
All the technology in China in that little TV, and you're like, TV's stupid. No, you're stupid.
Yeah. No, you ordered it on the wrong card. You ordered it on the wrong platform. Like
you're doing something wrong. The TV is actually much
We
smarter.
need somebody from UFC and Apple to come on the show and be like, how do you actually order the fight? All right, with ESPN. So anyways, let's go to Bill's domain. All right, the women's fights. He is our uncertified women's expert for UFC, not official, but he's pretty good at allegedly.
Not only a president, he's also a client.
Yeah. So we got a women's strawweight fight, and it's Mackenzie Dern, that's Bill's girl, at 11-2 versus Tisha Torres at 13-5. Now I've been doing a lot of studying of women's fights lately because I'm trying to take that title away from Bill. So not only will I be the big old the clown picks, but I will be the female expert. And I noticed that it's a lot like tennis, to where the one that grunts the most is usually the one that wins. So this is gonna go to decision, and I got Mackenzie winning it with about 7 more grunts than Tisha. So Joe, I got Mackenzie by grunts.
All right, Bill, should this scare me that I got Mackenzie by decision? Nick picked her, or do you think we're okay? Because what you don't understand is not only does Bill lock in most of the female fights, but Tisha actually is responsible for me being a point down to Bill. I'm more than one, but I lost on a fight. I lost on a fight where he took Tisha. So this is going to be a tough one because Tisha has been doing literally bodybuilding competitions. So the girl's going to be a rock. And Mackenzie looked really good at the weigh-ins. This is one I took a deep look at. And, she was sporting the 6-pack. She looked ripped. And to be honest with you, man, if she looked soft, I might have taken Tisha because this is pretty even money. But I think Mackenzie's going to be a little bit bigger. She's going to be strong enough to get Tisha down. And she's gonna out wrestle her, but I'm not parlaying this fight just because Tisha is. You ever tried to grab somebody that was a bodybuilder, and it's like just grabbing concrete? That's what she's like. So unless Mackenzie sets her shots up with strikes and fights smart, Tisha's a veteran, and this is gonna be a tough one. But I'm gonna say in the end, Mackenzie knows she needs this fight for a title shot in the future. She's got to have it, and Tisha probably feels the same way. But I'm gonna take Mackenzie in a very close one by decision, but the over in this one is probably where my money's going.
All right, back-to-back over bets. The champ, Bill, what say you?
Okay, so yeah, money line, I'm taking Mackenzie Dern. I wouldn't take the over just because of Mackenzie Dern's submission abilities. She will pull off an armbar out of nowhere. That's the only reason why I'm hesitant towards taking it over on this one. Tisha's forte is she's super fast and has endless cardio, so she's always sticking and moving. She's just a victim of size. She's just little.
That's it.
Yeah,
she went to decision with Marina.
She's just little, and like Joe said at the weigh-in, Mackenzie just looked big. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mackenzie pulled off a submission on this one. Mackenzie's kryptonite is taller people. So she lost to Marina Rodriguez. I forgot the fight she lost before that one. But she typically loses to the taller fighters. So
I think both of her losses are to Marina, aren't they, Bill?
Yeah, I think so. And Marina, and it's because Marina knows how to use her length and just tag your ass on the outside.
Rebus.
That's tough. That was a tough one, Bill. I that was close. Close.
I'm trying.
That was a loaded one. I don't know. Yeah. You have to go back and re-listen to what you said. So
I know what I'm saying. I'm gonna get you to break.
Just remember, out of 31 fights between the two of these women, there's only one knockout.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what. I'll take Mackenzie Dern by submission. in the second round. Only because I think she's just bigger, and I think once she gets Tisha to the ground, she's just screwed. She's just too little, and having that bigger of a person who's that good at grappling, it's just not going to be good for Mackenzie. But if Tisha's smart and she just keeps dancing around like she normally does, she might get lucky and drag us to a decision. But I'm going to take Mackenzie by submission.
Mackenzie by submission on FanDuel is paying plus 200, and that's a pretty good bet.
A little $5 bet. Throw that on there. So offset one of your locks. But yeah, maybe our new sponsor in May will allow me to say that. We don't know what to ask them. All right. So like maybe we can go back to it, but who knows? He's got to pay us enough because we lose all of our other sponsors if I start talking like that again. All right. So we'll go to the next one, which is a welterweight bout. And you got Gilbert Burns. All right. Coming in at 20-4 versus Hazmat Chimanov or Chimev. Okay. So this guy's a Hazmat. Chimaev. All right.
Well, a little Key and Peele right here and say, you say my name right.
Yeah. You got him. Well, until he beats me in the octagon, I can call him whatever I want. I'm going to call him Hazmat. All right. So Hazmat at 10-0. Okay, so
Hazmat.
He's from normally when I go with these Eastern Bloc guys, hands down, as the big girl always does. But I got a little intel from the Gilbert camp, so you guys might want to pay attention to this. All right, apparently, Hazmat's team thought that they were going to get fight previews from What's Eating Gilbert Grape. All right, and it's literally not the same Gilbert. So Hazmat's been preparing all wrong for a much smaller guy who has like AIDS. Okay. So Gilbert does not. Gilbert's going to win first round knockout because Hazmat's not ready. Bill, what say you?
Okay. So I bought into Chimaev.
Bill just breeze right over that. It's okay.
And I know Joe did as well. Listen, Chimaev is an absolute fucking monster.
Prepared wrong.
First of all, don't fuck with anybody who grew up in Chechnya with a cleft palate. That dude's tough.
Hey, what's the warlord's name over there, Bill?
It's like Khodorov. He's the one.
They're like buddies. They're besties. Seriously, there's videos of them all over the internet hanging out and wrestling with each other.
But here's an interesting stat for you.
Wrestling
Since
bears and
Chimaev's
shit.
been in the UFC, Chimaev has thrown 254 significant strikes. And he's only been hit by 2.
And they were bullshit punches. They weren't even. They were the leech on the way up, jabbing him twice.
This dude has only been hit twice in the UFC. The dude is an absolute fucking monster. I'm taking Chimaev. I'm gonna say Gilbert Burns might get out of the first round. I doubt it. But it'll be Chimaev by murder. Don't pick this fight to go to distance. It's not. I'd be surprised if it got out of the first round. But Chimaev is one of my locks. There's a lot of people in Vegas right now jumping on Gilbert Burns just because they think he's fought the better competition.
Got the same
and
intel
he's giving you like a plus 350. So if you want to get ballsy, pick Burns, but he's not going to win. Chimaev is a minus 550, so you got to put him in a long parlay. But Chimaev, I don't know. He first round, but Burns might be good enough to get out of this first round. But Chimaev
First round jaw dislocation.
And if you watch Chimaev's last fight, he picked the guy up, walked him over to the other side of the ring where Dana said, he's like, I wanted you to watch me beat his ass.
Stop, really?
Yeah.
Wait,
no,
Nick. He picked up this guy who is a very dangerous striker off the ground about this high, okay? Walked over and goes, Dana, I smash. He goes, watch, I'm going to smash this guy. And he's yelling at Dana. Flips him over, it beats the brakes off of him, and then subs him. I'll give the leech credit, though. He went out. Like, when there was no tap, he went to sleep.
And I might have to buy this fight now just for that.
And Chimaev's that dude that doesn't call specific people out. And they say, who do you want next? He says, I want to fight the entire.
I kill everybody. That's what he said.
I want to kill.
I want to kill everyone.
So Chimaev, my lock, put him in a long parlay. He'll be in all my parlays. So Chimaev by decimation, first round.
All right. So Joe, what say you?
Man, anytime I get a chance to watch this guy in the octagon, without sounding corny, I mean, this is coming from Dana White, everybody. This guy is something different. He's something special. And if you still got he's a really good prospect in your head, get rid of it. Everybody's afraid of this guy from Usman down. I believe he's going to be the guy to take the strap off of Usman eventually, because Usman's a giant 170 pounder. And I stood and have a picture, and I should have fucking sent it to Chris, but I got a picture of me and Gilbert Burns. He's my size, bro. Exactly my size, maybe an inch shorter. Okay. Chimaev's a legit 6'2". He's way bigger. My prediction is Chimaev goes like a high crotch, turns Gilbert, and hurts him with a slam and pounds him out in the second round. This fight is not going the distance. Every parlay I've got Chimaev by TKO or submission, which is -200, which is the best odds you're going to get on him. And then the fight not going the distance is -290. So what do you think Vegas thinks is going to happen? Okay, this fight, at worst, I got one parlay where I got it going inside the distance just in case Burns pulls off a miracle. But Gilbert Burns, keep in mind, when you see this destruction, half the division is scared of Gilbert Burns. They don't want to fight him.
But Chimaev just doesn't give a fuck. Like he truly tries to kill whoever he's in there with.
He's a different animal. He's a different animal. I mean, this guy, he hasn't been challenged yet. I think he knows this one puts me on the map with everybody. There's no question in their minds. And he's going to make an example, and Gilbert Burns is going to fucking look different after this fight. So I got Chimaev hurting him with a slam and pounding him out in round 2.
All right, there you have it, fight fans. This is going to be a good one. Yeah, lock it up. So let's before we get to the 2 title fights, again, go to our stores. All right, shop.veterantrashtalk.com or gruntworksclothing.com and put in the code VTTGW. Get yourself a discount. All right, with the shirts. We got a lot of funny stuff on there. We got a lot of serious stuff on there. And what we're doing, again, with the mentality that Veteran Trash Talk has, and now that we are owners of Gruntworks, is that we want to start the conversation. So if you wear a funny shirt, somebody says, hey, I like that shirt. Okay, where did you get it? Yada, yada, yada. And don't care if you sell any more shirts for us, but it starts the conversation with maybe another veteran, all right, who, hasn't talked to somebody in a while. All right, so the shirts are designed that we're trying to get you to open up and talk about it, and say, hey, that's funny, all right, or, whatever. And did you see, Bill, the picture with the Russian tank with Wolverines written on it? Was that Ryan? Is Ryan over there doing that? Because I know he's there. But maybe Ryan Hendrickson, author of Tip of the Spear, he might come on our show today later live from Ukraine. And so he's over there tagging all these Russian tanks with Wolverines. That's what we're gonna say. We're not, don't really quote me on that, but maybe. So hopefully Ryan can make it. He's doing great work over there helping refugees, and he needs some money, so we're gonna try to get him some as well. All right, to the bantamweight title fight. Now, explain this to me, guys, after I do my picks. Explain this to me, that how do they both have belts, but we'll get to that. But we got Aljamain Sterling.
Because of an Oscar-winning performance.
Just call him Aljo.
Aljamain Sterling. All right, he's always jamming. He's coming in at 20-3, and he's going against Peter Yan at 16-2.
Nice Heisman you're doing on your kid there. I like it.
Yeah, you like that? Get out. So so again, we do the show every Saturday. All right, we've switched rooms, we've done everything. Right, but then here they come. All right, but that's okay. I love her to death, and she won. She beat me on the par 3 yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. That's good.
Hey, when's she running her next track meet?
No, that's the youngest. The oldest is already at the track meet. So after this, I got to run down to the track meet and go catch.
Who's the one that did the hurdles, Nick?
Natalie, the oldest one. Yeah,
dude, you got a natural there, man. That's crazy how smooth she is for that young.
She won the 800 by about 300 meters.
Yeah, man. That's impressive. She runs 2 of the hardest races there is. I was a track nerd, so the 800 is a brutal race.
She's in the 4x1 or whatever, the 400 meter 1x400, however you say it. All right, everybody runs 400 meters. Four people run 400 meters. The last 4x4
one of the meet, right?
Yeah,
so
last
the
one
last
of the meet.
one.
Yeah, the exciting one. And I think the coach did that wrong and put her as the lead, as a starter. And she kind of started off slow, and I was like, Natalie, did you think you were running at 800? She's like, yeah, I got confused. So she kind of started off pacing a little bit, and then she kicked it on and still won her lap though. But we got Peter Yan at 16-2. again, you got to do your research, guys. You like the Big Earl. And I was looking at Always Jamming. Always Jamming, he's going to come into this fight with the P-Funk. All right. George Clinton is going to open him up, and it's going to confuse Peter Yan, and it's going to put him in that little funky mood. And Always Jamming, going to dance around him and win second round. Joe, what say you? Oh, come on, guys. You're not doing your research.
There's going to be another murder fight.
Not a chance in hell. No. Okay. So, I mean, Bill's got to be rubbing his hands together, man. There's like two of his favorite females on there. I feel guilty doing this one first because he's the reason. The separator with Bill and the rest of the guys, I'm going to give Bill some props here, is he sold me on Peter Yan when I wasn't sold yet. And he was like, dude, stop betting against this guy, man. He's a monster. He's a beast. And I wasn't sold quite yet. I think I picked Sandhagen against him, which wasn't a horrible pick because that was a great fight. But Bill was all the way 100% the other way. I think it cost me a point on that one. But Peter Yan is right. He's been dreaming of this moment since he landed. Okay, here's how the belts happened, Nick. Peter Yan was destroying Aljamain Sterling. And I will give Sterling his credit where credit is due. He won the first round, but he spent his gas tank. And Peter Yan was turning it on. And he's one of those Russians, kill everybody. He got too excited, hit Aljo with a knee while he was on the ground. Aljo pretended he couldn't fight anymore.
Oh, I remember that fight, yeah.
Peter got DQ'd in a fight where he was winning the whole way, other than the first round. So I think Peter's going to actually, because he's one of those guys that what makes him great is he ratchets it up each round. He's like George St. Pierre. His strikes just get more ferocious, more and more and more. His gas tank is never ending. And I think he's going to abuse Sterling. I really do. I don't think he's going to let him out of the first. I don't think he's going to let him get out of there with just one round. I think he's going to carry him into about the third or fourth, and then he's going to put him away violently. And I just put $10 on Peter Yan by fourth round KO, and it pays back 100.
Ooh,
he's getting 1,000. He's getting plus 1,000 odds on knockout in the second, third, fourth, or fifth. The fifth is 1,500.
Well, hell, you might as well put 5 on all of them.
That's exactly what I was thinking. But I got Peter Yan by an absolute masterclass, brutalizing Aljo. Aljo might get a couple takedowns in the first round. Peter's such a good athlete; he'll get back to his feet, and he's going to stay on his toes and piece Sterling up because that's his belt. He knows it's his belt. Sterling's been poking him and poking him and poking him, and he's about to play the game. Foxtrot Alpha Foxtrot. Fuck around and find out.
There you go.
And Peter Yan is going to get his belt back violently. And Aljamain Sterling's little swan song is going to be over tonight. Yeah.
The P-Funk.
Yeah.
He's coming out to the P-Funk. And nobody loses.
He was crying.
Nobody loses when you come out to George the Parliament Funkadelic. All right. Nobody loses.
He was crying at the weigh-ins legitimately. And everyone was like, what's his emotion about? And it's like, I'll tell you what it's about. He loves being champ. And this is his last fucking 2 hours.
Yeah. All right. Before we get to Bill's pick, I got to address Dan Dexter's comment on there about when I went and I said I'm going to run down to Natalie's track meet. And he goes, "Run? You don't run." He said, "You can't run." Right. So I take offense to that because I gave up cardio for Lent. All right, last year, and I feel like it has made me a better person. So I choose not to do cardio because I've devoted myself to a faithful life of no more cardio. So Bill,
I've never ran anything.
Running breeds cowardice.
Exactly.
Where you running to?
Joe actually
turn
hit
around
right on the head. So I had Yoder Yan at a late third, early fourth KKO. If you watch Yan fights, he's a slow starter, and he likes to make people gas out. And he just, like Joe said, he has that GSP cardio that's just. And they tried to fight in the hotel lobby yesterday. Actually, Yan tried to fucking snatch his ass up in the lobby. Yan hates.
But it's real. It's real with Yan. Aljo is just acting.
Part of it's because Sterling, after the days after that fight, so hey, I'm the real champ, and even all the fighters in the UFC was like, hey, nobody claims that after bullshit like that. But Yan said he's like, I'm gonna leave Noda. I'm gonna try to murder him.
I.e. Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
Anthony Smith could have taken John Jones's belt, and he said, "Fuck no, I don't want it like that."
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But yeah, Jan is just a different beast, especially at that weight class. And now it's a different level of talent mixed with pure unadulterated hatred. Sterling is going to feel it. And I think Joe was right. I was actually going to mention it, but Joe did it. Is Sterling cried at the weigh-in? And I think it's because he knows he's not wearing that fucking belt anymore. He knows he's walking into a fucking lion's den and he's going to get fucking decimated. So Jan, go with Jan in a late third, early fourth TKO. So like Joe said, if you're getting that type of odds, second, third, fourth, put a bet on both third or fourth round.
plus 1,000.
Yeah, Jan is wrecking this dude. So Jan, TKO, late third, early fourth.
Nice. So this is looking like a big old parlay. If you guys got an extra $2, that's about the most I put on my picks. All right, put about $2.
Hey, Nick, you work with trains. What's this mean?
Yeah, a couple.
Locked it up.
Yep.
Locked it up.
And then you got to look for the pin. Right. So
that's right.
That's the way it goes. Yeah, I am a certified train driver. Take that comment as you will. All right. So we got we got Madsen, Gilbert Burns, and Al.
Even when the train's off the tracks.
Yeah, if you put $2 on that parlay, you can thank the big girl later. All right. Let's go to the featherweight title bout. Now, I actually have a good memory on this one because I picked Alexander Volkanovski, all right, to win, and I said that he was named after Alexander the Great. And turns out his nickname that these guys told me is the Great. And he's going against the Korean, the Korean zombie, Chain Sung Young. That's
it.
17-6. Now, remember, Alexander only lost in Afghanistan, so it's 23-1. All right, he's not going to Afghanistan. He's going back to Asia, like the Asia Minor, whatever you call it, right? So I think Afghanistan's still Asia. But the only loss to Alexander the Great was Afghanistan. So I got Alexander here, first round knockout over the Korean zombie. Bill, the champ. What say you?
I like both these guys. It sucks. Like I love the Korean zombie. He's a good dude. So is Volkanovski. Korean zombie's always going to give you a good fight, but he's not going to win. Volkanovski is another one. He's a lock, but you got to put him in a long parlay. He's a minus 750, I think it is, off of MGM the last time I checked. But Korean zombie stuff, he'll get you some rounds. So I'm going to take Korean zombie to lose, but I don't think he's going to lose till
startled me for a second.
Yeah, no. So, like I said,
you're in the headlights with glasses on.
I was like, huh?
Volkanovski money line is getting you minus 750, so you got to do a long parlay. But if you want to get ballsy, try to pick a round. I'm going to take Volkanovski to finish. Same thing, late third, early fourth, just because Zombie's just tough. He's just a tough dude. So he'll get you some rounds. So actually, if you want to use him as a DraftKings sleeper too, he'll get you points. Zombie's he's gonna make it a fight. Volkanovski's just too good. He's just too good.
Yep.
So Volkanovski money line. If you want to pick him to finish, go for late third or early fourth round.
All right, Joe, what say you?
Yeah, there's kind of a love-hate thing with this fight. Chan Sung Jung doesn't get me excited to fight Volkanovski. Now, I had the pleasure of being cage side for Volkanovski and Ortega, and I'm just blown away by Volkanovski. Yeah, I mean, how he gets out of the submission, he gets out of the roof, came off that place when his head slipped out. I mean, a mounted guillotine is almost it's one of the most difficult chokes to get out of, and it was in tight. His face was turning purple, and Ortega couldn't stop him, and Ortega threw everything. That was a great fight.
It was.
I just don't think Chan Sung Jung can hang with him. He can't hang with that pace. I do give him credit for his toughness, and I've got Volkanovski in double chance by TKO or points. It's possible this goes the distance. You can play with that if you want to, because it's good money. But I got Volkanovski, and I'm gonna. Damn, man, it's a tough one. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say Volkanovski finishes him, and roll with Bill. Say by the fourth round, it's just too much, and he kind of TKOs him by a stoppage where it's not necessarily a knockout, but it's the ref kind of mercy stoppage. And I think he stops him with strikes in the fourth, but he definitely is winning this fight.
No, awesome. Awesome. So finally, that's 2 fights that they've agreed with the big girl. And remember, I do all the research. I am the genius. And I know what's going on in underwear fighting. I always loved underwear fighting. Okay, let's get to the money-making part of the show. If you haven't been paying attention, now is the time to take this little pen out or pencil. All right, and let's talk about parlays, locks, and DraftKings sleeper. Let's stay with the challenger, Trigger Joe.
Okay, so my locks are Volkanovski, Jan, and Chimaev. Those are my locks. Those are my guarantees. Okay, so my DraftKings sleeper is going to be Mickey Gall in the prelims. Right now on FanDuel, he's a plus 152. The guy he's going up against is a career trainer. He's an alpha male coach for Team Alpha Male. He's a wrestler. And Mickey Gall's a really dangerous submission grappler, and he's a very big welterweight. So I got Mickey Gall as my DraftKings sleeper. So I'm going to roll with a pretty big parlay here because there's a lot of fights that I like. But so here's the parlay. I'm going to go from the top down. We'll go Volkanovski. All right. And I've got that bet several ways. Okay. He's a huge favorite. He's plus 770, but to go the distance is minus 138. To not go the distance is plus 102, whoever comes up with these numbers. So I've got that fight, to be honest with you, in my parlay, I've got that fight to not go the distance. All right. And the reason why I didn't pick a fighter in it is because any pick on Volkanovski is really expensive. The only other one I can say is if you got the opportunity to double chance it, take Volkanovski by points or TKO. All right. So there's my first one. Take Peter Yan, and if you want to play with the finish in that one, I've got him by TKO in the second, third, fourth, and fifth, all for $5, and they all pay back 50. I just put it in. So I got Volkanovski, Peter Yan, Chimaev. I like Ian Gary. A lot of people are like saying they should be scared of Darian Weeks, but I'm not. Ian Gary is a huge favorite. I'm taking him. Mackenzie Dern, because she's actually really cheap. Let me roll through this next one. You guys got to bear with me. I was working up north. I didn't have time to put this parlay together before, but you know, that's honestly it. That's the safe one that I'm going to roll with. So I'll roll it back. Volkanovski, Peter Yan, Chimaev, Ian Gary, and where is her name? Mackenzie Dern. That's it. But I've got a couple of long ones too. But I honestly feel like that's a really safe parlay. Now, the favorites are going to be expensive. So if you want to play with round, type, and finish, go ahead. But don't say I didn't warn you. Sometimes I can burn your ass. Yep. I've picked a perfect card before and won 1 parlay out of 6 because I did that. So just be careful when you do it. Protect yourself. Kind of bet safe one, gamble with the other, whatever you want to do. But I also like Rodriguez if that fight doesn't get scrapped. That's the only reason I didn't mention it, against Kay Hansen. So if that fight's a go, put that in your parlay as well.
All right, there you have it. There's the Trigger Joe's locks and parlays, and he's been on fire the last couple fights, people. So pay attention. All right, Bill, what say you?
Okay, as usual, I'll give you a couple parlays, a safe one, then I'll give you a couple of ballsy ones. But first, my locks: Volkanovski, Yan, Chimaev. And if the fight happens, Rodriguez from the early prelims. Kay Hansen missed weight like she always does. And this Rodriguez girl, they're building her up to be the next one to contend with Valentina. This girl has hands, and she has been ending everyone she fights. So if the fight happens, take Rodriguez all day. But they've been going back and forth with Kay backing out of it or not. Okay, so the safe parlay. You got Volkanovski, Yan, Chimaev, and then take Dern. A little ballsier, longer parlay. Take Volk, Yan, Chimaev, Madsen over Pichel, or you can take the over on that fight because that fight is going to be long as hell. Dern, take Gary over Weeks, like Joe said, heavy favorite. And another female fight, if you want to get ballsy, is take Pennington over Ladd.
We're an echo of each other today, Bill. Yeah. Exactly the same. You guys better be listening.
Ladd had a hard time making weight, and Pennington, she's just a beast. She took the fight short notice and was already ready to fight. And you gotta remember, people forget Pennington's only lost like 5 times, and that was Amanda Nunes, Holly Holm.
She's
and
fought everybody.
Durangamy. So one more time, locks Volk, Jan Shamaev, and Rodriguez if the fight happens. Parlay 1, Volk, Jan Shamaev, Dern. Longer parlay, Volk, Jan Shamaev, Dern, Madsen, and Pennington.
All right. Did you give your DraftKings sleeper?
Oh, DraftKings sleeper is Mickey Gall all day.
All right, Mickey Gall. Perfect.
Dude,
All right. So
we
there,
literally-
if you guys, you guys got to pay attention to that. If you have to go back and watch it again, do it, because these guys are in lockstep with each other right now, and that's usually pretty good for me. All right, when I'm betting with these guys. So if you're betting with them, that's you. It usually
It's
pays
good
out
for me too, because Bill's 6'11". So
Yeah, exactly.
being in step with Bill's tough.
Yeah. But hey, that another plug that we have to put out there. If you don't like watching the videos, or you don't, you'd rather listen to it on a podcast. Thank you for everybody who's been downloading this podcast. It's we have 3 or 4 of them are our top ones for all of veteran trash talk. So apparently a lot of people like listening to it. So go on Apple, Spotify, all those things, and the audio gets uploaded as soon as the show's done. And then it's up there ready for you to listen to and get your bets in before the fights start. Okay, so you have it. And just stick around. All right, today at about 1700 Eastern time, we're going to have allegedly, all right, Colonel retired Nightingale, all right, best-selling author. And he was like in 17,000 different special forces units in Vietnam. He's a warrior and a true American, and we're gonna have him on. And there's George. And also, like I said, maybe a surprise visit from Ryan Hendrickson from Ukraine Live. So make sure you guys come out 1700 to the Trash Talk Hour. It should be.
I hear he's been slapping veteran trash talk logos on Russian tanks.
Yeah, them and Wolverines. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. So it's just the way it is. We have that kind of clout now. All right. So again, check us out on Spotify and all podcast platforms. And then if you like to watch the videos, check us out on YouTube or just rewatch it on Facebook. All right. We will see you guys at 1700 Eastern time. Good luck on your fights.